So, you want to build a hotel, but you don't know where to start. Well, Hotel Architect is no different from real life. You need to start with the foundations. So here we are in the free play sandbox mode, and I'm going to show you how to build your hotel from the ground up. So first off, we head over to structure, and then you have a range of buttons here. The one we're looking for is foundation, and then once you click it, you'll see your grid. So let's decide on a size, and you just drag across, and then it actually tells you how much it will cost us. So this foundation will cost us $62,080. Let go, and you will get your blueprint. However, it is just a blueprint at the minute. What we need to do is call in a construction service. So let's call in 6 workers, and they will pull up outside. We'll see them coming in a second. Here they are, and they will get to work. An important thing to remember is that once they start building the walls, how are they going to get inside? I'm very guilty of this, and I always forget to put doors in. But let's put some doors in. Let's find very nice, double doors. Let's go for like a walnut color. Okay, let's go and put that right there, like so. And then we can also speed them up in the corner. And as you can see, they are going from the van, picking up material and placing it, and back again. But what we can do is we have these little material sites, like these supply crates, and we can place them on tiles that are already built. They don't actually cost us anything, but what it does, they hold 30 different materials. You can see that here. So currently they have used 24 of them. And what it stops is them going back and forth to the van. So they take the materials from the pallet first. This is very, very, very useful when you are building skyscraper hotels. Even multi-floor, like 2-floor, 3-floor hotels. Very, very useful because they don't have to go all the way back to the van and then back up again and then back to the van. It's nice and simple. Okay, they are just finishing up now. So what we should begin with is probably a reception, because we can't book any guests in without a reception. What you also want to keep an eye on is idle builders. Idle builders cost money. So if they're just standing around like this doing nothing, it will still cost you. So if you do have the chance, just send them home. However, we're not going to do that because we need them to work. So again, we're going to head over to our structure tab and get some walls up. And again, we just drag and drop and it tells you how much. So $800 for that wall. And I feel like it could be a nice little nook for our reception desk. So let's start off by zoning. So at the minute we have unlocked the reception, the staff room, the maintenance room, laundry room, bathroom and bedroom. Basically all the essentials that you will need to run a hotel. Let's zone here. Again, just drag and drop, or if you want to select the whole room, you can just hold down shift. But we don't want to do that because we just want this little area here for our reception area. So now that is zoned, this little caution comes up saying for it to be a working reception, we need the following. A reception desk, which kind of makes sense. So we can press R to rotate stuff as well. So let's start off. I'm going to put 2 desks in. I'm going to put 2 desks in because once we start filling up the hotel with guests, it can get very busy and we want to book them in as quick as possible. As well as that, we need a copy machine to take duplicates of passports and IDs. And then of course, we need a key cabinet. I just put 2 there for symmetry as well. So at the minute, it is looking very, very bleak. So if we go over to the paintbrush, which is the customize surface tab, we can pick from a range of colors or even filter them. So I might go stone. I'm feeling fancy. So let's go with, like a light stone all the way out. So you just hold down shift and it selects everything. Now, let's go over to the floor and ground, and let's pick another stone. Ooh, that one's quite fancy. I think it blends in a little bit too much, so let's go for a darker variation. Yeah, let's go with that. And again, material sites. Place them everywhere. Just speeds up the process. So now they're building that. We're going to move on to the staff room, because your staff do need breaks. They do have an energy bar, and they replenish that energy bar by having their allocated break. So I'm going to put a wall all the way across here with a door, and I'm going to use a staff only door, which is there, and then we're also going to sort of section that bit off there as well. Let's just put a door in there because they can finish wallpapering. There we go. So again, we will zone it, but this time as a staff room. And then again, for a staff room, we need somewhere for them to sit. So let's choose a snazzy blue sofa. We need lockers for them to store their stuff. They do love a coffee machine as well. Everyone loves a coffee break. Or, if they're not feeling the hot drinks, a water fountain. As the time goes on, we will be able to upgrade and basically add a staff training desk in here. And that is how we upgrade our staff skills and make them better qualified for the job. But at the minute, let's just use our copy tool, and we can select the stone that we've already used and then just copy and paste it. So the next room we're going to make is a laundry room. I feel like this is a very important part of the hotel, as if this room is not fully stocked or fully working, or even if it isn't efficient for the amount of rooms that you have, beds will go unmade and people will be unhappy. So let's head over to what we need. Washing machines. Put a couple of those in. We also need drying racks. Again, these are the very, very basic models. Once we have upgraded and researched these, we can then make them into more efficient models and even eventually washer dryers. So it's one unit taking up one space instead of a separate washer and dryer. Let's put also the shelves in so we can store the fresh towels and the fresh linen. There we go. I'm going to put 2 of each in, personally, just because I feel like I constantly run out of towels. Next up, we will build a little bathroom. Because I'm not being funny, we don't want people peeing on the floor. So again, zone it, bathroom. It's going to tell us the basics that we need. So, a toilet cubicle, and then I'm going to put a shower cubicle in there just as a precaution, just to let people freshen up a bit. There we go. Gonna put some a towel there, and then we can get some very cool looking showers as well. Maybe a bit 70s, but who's complaining? Here we go. So again, we're going to paint the walls, or even we're going to tile it in this case. Let's use some red tiles. There we go. And then we're going to just copy that and do the outside as well. And then for the floor, let's go with a classic black and white tile. So now we have some bathrooms. Then, one of the most important ones we're missing is the bedroom. So let's go over, add some walls, and add a little bedroom there. Again, we're going to zone it as a bedroom. Don't forget to put the door in. And then it's telling us we need a bed, of course. We need a wardrobe for the guests to store their clothes. And we need a case stand for the guests to store their luggage. These are the 3 basics for the basic backpacker guest that you will need. As you go through the different guest types, you will need different items to please them and to even get them to stay in your hotel. We're going to copy the stone again and do that. And if you notice, the bed isn't made. And that is because we haven't employed any staff yet to make the bed. So this is a very basic setup. It's currently booked by no one, and it is this value is 7,700 and it is size 9, so that means it is 9 square tiles. The people that would use this room currently are the backpackers, because all they need is a minimum room size of 4 tiles, and this is currently 9. This is also halfway to being a room suitable for the sporty types. So it is a minimum room size of 8, we have 9. The value is 7.5 plus, we have 7.7, but they need their own toilet and basin. So how we can do that, we can make a room for the backpacker, and then if you click on the room, we can actually copy it, and we can paste it like so. And what I'm going to do is we're going to make a quick little bathroom, and we're going to connect them by putting a door between the two, just to give them a bit of privacy. We're going to copy the stone again, and then let's have a look down. Let's zone it as a bathroom, so we're telling them that this is their bathroom, and they need a shower, they need a toilet. Bear in mind, this is a different toilet to the one we put in like the communal ones. So we have the toilet, and we will put just a simple little sink in. So nothing special. Again, you can upgrade and research these throughout your time playing, which we have a multitude of upgrades here. So now the info has updated. The size of the room is now 18 tiles wide. The value of the room is over 16,000, and currently it is suitable for a sporty apart from the requirement of the 2-star, but we get that from our critic review, which we'll talk about in another video. So the last basic room that we will build will be the maintenance room. So your maintenance staff will sort out everything to do with replenishing your supplies, and they will also fix and maintain your plants and electrical items. So let's put a door there. Actually, I'm going to change it to one of these ones. One of the staff only doors, just to make sure no guests go in. But we've also already placed the door down, so all we can do is click on that door, click delete item, and the builder will come and knock it down, and job's a good one. So again, we're going to zone it, maintenance room, hold down shift, and it's going to tell us what we need. So currently they need a workbench, they need a tool board, which looks quite nice above the workbench personally. They need some supply stands. I'm going to put 2 in there, and then let's put a tool cabinet in there as well. Just gives them a nice little place to keep all their stuff. There we go. So to start with, I believe we will have to hire some staff. So let's hire a receptionist. So let's get Molly O'Greetley, and we'll put them in the receptionist zone. Then we will hire a cleaner, because they're very important. So let's get Robert Sheetson, get them in there cleaning, and then we'll hire a maintenance guy. Let's go with Joanna De Plummer. There we go. And as you can see, this room is already booked by the critic. Which one's this one? Daniel Harsh. Ooh, hopefully they're not harsh on us. Let's speed it up a bit. Now, if you see, the builders are doing nothing, but it is costing us money. So we can either get them just to place a few odds and sods around, a few decorations. Let's put a random seating area in the middle here, like so. Let's put a table there, a chair there. Beautiful. Let's put a water machine and a coffee machine there. Also very important, remember to put bins. Your bins will need to be emptied. If there are not bins around, the guests will throw the rubbish on the floor. So we'll put a couple of dumpsters outside. There we go. We got the critic enjoying the seating. And then let's add a few more decorations around. And we should be done. So here we have our basic layout. I've added a few decorations. Do not judge me on my design choices. So the different areas we currently have are a reception, a staff room, laundry room, maintenance room, a bedroom with a bathroom, a bedroom without a bathroom, and a communal bathroom area. So these are the basic zones that you will need to run your hotel. Once you get further into the game and start unlocking more guests, that's when you will unlock the gym, the kitchen, the restaurant, the sauna, the bar, the conference room, casino, and spa. So yes, these are the basic ones you will need. If you head over to the guest page, it will tell you what facilities each guest needs. So the backpacker prefers these items but doesn't actually need a facility apart from a room. The sporty needs a gym. A business needs a conference room. The sunbather needs somewhere to tan. The brat needs a bar. And the upper crust needs a spa. We'll have other videos detailing what guests need what and how to do that. But yes, this is just a quick guide on the basics, how to build your foundations and start from there. Happy playing!